Hi everybody, Eden Crown here. Welcome to Tokyo's luckiest temples and shrines. Today we're at Toshogu Shrine in Ueno Park, famous for its victory amulets. Now you want to take the park gate if you're going to go to Ueno Park to visit the shrines, temples, museums, or the zoo. Toshogu Shrine's attribute is success by any means. Those who want to get ahead come here to pray and buy a charm. The shrine is powered by Super Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu and his victory against overwhelming odds to unify Japan. They believe that his energy empowers the shrine. Victory, strength, and craftiness are what Toshogu's good luck talismans and amulets are especially good for. Something of a control freak, when Tokugawa Ieyasu died, he had made sure that his power would live on by having himself posthumously deified as Tosho Daigongen, an avatar of the Buddha of healing. Buddha of healing, really? Since tens of thousands of people died in his war of unification, this should give visitors an idea of the size of the man's ego. Hopefully at this point you're saying, hey, wait a minute. Toshogu's a Shinto shrine, what's with the Buddhist deity stuff? Well, up until the Meiji Emperor, in his reforming zeal following the Meiji Revolution in 1868, made a lot of changes. Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines, they enjoyed a mutually beneficial cohabitation. Japanese Buddhism adopted Shinto deities and vice versa, because in Japan, there's no conflict in being both Shinto and Buddhist. So before the Super Shogun became part of the story, this was a Buddhist temple and a Shinto shrine on these grounds. After his death, it was declared a Shinto shrine, though it stayed a mixture of Buddhism and Shintoism until they had to decide one way or the other. That's why you see the pagoda behind bars in the Ueno Zoo, because the Emperor Meiji's government forced them to divide Buddhism and Shintoism. And in order to keep the pagoda from being torn down, the priest said that no, it's not part of Toshogu, it's part of Kaneki, a Buddhist temple. And so, lucky for us, it survived. It's just not allowed to be inside the shrine grounds. So you can't go to it unless you can get into Ueno Zoo. In the courtyard directly in front of the shrine, you'll see large bronze lanterns. There's 48 of them, and they were contributed by samurai daimyo, samurai lords, following the death of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Each one is a little different, so have a look. On top of the lanterns, let me see if I can close up here a little for you. Yes, you'll see a design of 3 leaves. This is the crest of the Tokugawa family. So anytime you see this crest, you're looking at a shrine that is supported by the Tokugawa family. Here you can see Tokugawa Ieyasu, tongue-in-cheek, portrayed as Tanuki in a Buddhist robe and carrying the symbol of his elevation to the Buddhist heavens. What makes it so funny is that the Tanuki is a very sly, conniving, cheating, mythical animal. And although no one would call him that to his face, Tokugawa's nickname was Tanuki. He bought and paid for his elevation to Buddhist heaven and to become an avatar of the god or Buddha of health. But the priest had the last laugh by making this Emma in the likeness of Tokugawa Ieyasu as a Tanuki. But never forget, he's also a great warrior, and under his leadership, Japan was unified and his side was victorious against overwhelming odds. This is the outer gate of the shrine, and there's an altar there where people can make their offering and pray. But there's also the inner courtyard, which you must buy a separate ticket for. I believe it's for 500 yen, and it's worth it. It's very beautiful. A few years ago, it was completely restored, and all the gold leaf reapplied. It's worth going inside. The only issue is it is not barrier-free. You're not allowed to go in at this time with a wheelchair. So do keep that in mind. To get to the Tanuki Shrine, you're going to come around the main hall, and you'll see a little doorway, this doorway, and there's just a little arrow pointing. So you're going to go very carefully over this step, down those stairs, go down the path, and on your left, you'll see the little torii gate and the hidden shrine. Almost no one seems to know about the Tanuki Shrine. The only reason I know is one of the first times I came here, the priest told me about it. When I was asking, why is your Emma Tanuki? What does that have to do with Buddhism and Shintoism? And he explained the story of Tokugawa Ieyasu and the Tanuki and his elevation to a Buddhist deity, and the tongue-in-cheek joke that sort of the priest had played on him. And he told me how to get to this little shrine. But I've told other people about it, and they've never been able to find it. The shrine proclaims him as a god of victory, because he symbolizes Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was victorious in his war to unite Japan. Here we go, maybe a little better from this angle. There you go. So there he is in his elevated Buddhist glory, a Buddhist staff and Buddhist robes. However, if you look right here at the front, that's the Shinto mirror, the mirror that reflects the kami with you, the spirit, the divine spirit of the shrine. So it's absolutely a mix-up of Buddhism and Shintoism, plus tongue-in-cheek for the very powerful Tokugawa Ieyasu, i.e. Tanuki. The bird's name on the upper bar is for the birds that you see on the top tier. And then down here on the second bar are for the water birds, the waterfowl, who are on the bottom tier. So if you're curious what kind of birds you're looking at, just read the sign. So look closely. On both sides of the gate, there are dragons. One on this side, and the other on this side. And the motif is repeated on the outside of the gate. These are called the ascending dragons and descending dragons. And the legend is at night, they leave their art and go to have a drink and a swim in Shinobazu Pond on the other side of Ueno Park. Toshogu has a famous peony garden, and they hold peony festivals twice a year for the winter peony and the summer peony. And they're fantastic, just beautiful, beautiful things to see, displayed in a very traditional Japanese way. So once upon a time, like in the 1860s, Ueno Park was not a park at all. The northeast gate to the city was here, and in addition to temples and shrines, it was full of houses and businesses and eating places. It was a busy, busy part of town. During the revolution to overturn the Tokugawa shogunate and put the Emperor Meiji and his followers back in control of Japan, one of the last and fiercest battles was fought in this district. Hand-to-hand combat, cannons, rifles, swords. They were fighting in the streets. The town was burning. The cannons were destroying things. They were fighting on the grounds of the shrines and temples. Most of the shrines and temples were damaged. A few survived. Ironically, Toshogu, which is an homage and deifies Tokugawa Ieyasu, which you would think would have been a target of the reformers, but I have a feeling they were scared of his spirit because he's a hella strong guy spiritually, and his energy still powers the Toshogu Shrine. So I came on the Keihin Tohoku line, and you come out right by the restrooms. The restrooms are barrier-free. Then you're going to go past the 3-coin shop. 3 coins meaning everything in here costs 300 yen. And straight down that corridor to the park gate. So we come out here directly at the entrance into the park. And here we are. With the station at your back, you're going to walk straight ahead along this promenade. Right now there's construction going on as they refurbish the Museum of Western Art, which is on the right-hand side. This building on the left-hand side is a concert hall. So we're just going to keep walking with a lot of noise. I'm going to turn this off for a minute. If you're coming off the Ginza line or the Hibiya line, probably the easiest access is to take exit 7. It'll be marked downstairs on the platform as well. Exit 7 will bring you for access to Ueno Park. So come this way. Go to your left and up this broad ramp. Keep going straight ahead, and you're going to cross the intersection directly in front of you. You can see the building called Ueno 3153. Ueno Park is up at the top of that hill. You can't reach it here on the right-hand side. You have to cross the street to the opposite side to access the park. So cross the street, and then we're going to bear to our right. This building is called Sakura Terrace, Cherry Blossom Terrace. And this has an escalator that zigzags you all the way up to the top and access directly into the park. It's really handy, much easier than the stairs or the slope, particularly on a hot day. So you'll just take it up, up, up. And then when you get out, you want to go to your right. All the buildings, museums, most of the shrines and temples are towards the right. The left only takes you out to an exit, which brings you over to another train station. If escalators are an issue for you or anyone in your party, there's a new elevator. Not that one next to the stairs, another elevator. That just takes you to the top of the stairs, and you still have to walk up the slope and into Ueno Park. So you're going to walk all the way to this building, Bamboo Garden. And just to your left is the elevator to Ueno Park. And that will take you all the way up. And again, go towards your right when you get out of the elevator.